And we're off. Not yet, because of visual bugs, and we're off now. There you go. Finally, we've gotten going. Joseph Lee
We
playing
are
a good
off.
start, but
No, we're
getting swallowed
not.
up by Star Wars. Star Wars getting swallowed up by the Red Bull behind. Bit of contact there in turn
dude.
one. As Hayes tries to sweep around the
Okay.
heavy cars, they're all on the wall back there. Big crash back there. Star Wars still holds on to P2.
I hate everyone
The
here.
Mercedes and G tries up to P3. P4 is being held on to by Sonoble. A good start from him just when he needed. Drated down in P5. That one kid's P6, and there's massive switches back there. Hayes has fallen all the way back down to P11. Fifi's down in last, starting from 10th. It's all a big switch happening from some of the drivers here. And Joseph has already pulled 1.2 seconds clear. Yellow flags back there for a spun Alpine. It would seem more. It's a Williams, a Stamso actually, who seems to be getting going again. No damage. We'll jump back to the front runners who are going to turn one right now. And looking around the outsides, the Mercedes G-Child going to try and put the other AlphaTauri Star Wars under pressure, swooping all the way around the outside with the camber. Brilliant move on the sauce. The Stars have been demoted down to P3. But you can see this is the power of the softs on those heavy fuel load, heavy car, but Joseph is already 2 seconds clear. Being a bit of a nightmare. And he's side by side with the Ferrari of Skyward, who's been disconnected.
Because he lagged out, he swerved. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And Hayes gets by the AI, or Skyward's AI. As Noble slowly clawing his way back towards the podium, as Star Wars actually got by G-Child. It seemed to have made a mistake somewhere. He's dropped 1.5 seconds nearly behind. G-Child's made a massive mistake. He's been massively dropped off the back of Star Wars. Zone of the first sector. And Brazilian going defensive. Fifi has to look towards the outside. Does he have that overspeed on him with the DRS? Maybe not too much bad to play with. You have to get him on the brakes here. Looking around the outside, a bit of a mistake from Brazilian. They're touching the curve. There's big contact between the two. Fifi's off track. Has to back out of the move. And he has to hold on to P11. Brazilian maybe just a bit aggressive there. One of the more aggressive drivers of the league. Holds on to P10. But for how long can he do it? We saw him in the massive pressure just a second ago. As I think we'll await the first round of pit stops. And actually Fifi's already putting Brazilian back under pressure before they reach the first sector. Does Brazilian keep a good on the brakes? Fifi looking for a move here. Can't get him. Brazilian. Oh, and he's made a mistake. Brazilian's made a big mistake. And that's allowed Fifi to go through before they get to the DRS zone. But now does Brazilian put Fifi under pressure? Fifi, I don't think, is in the DRS. He's not of imply, so it's going to be under pressure from Brazilian now. We'll see if Brazilian goes for a move with DRS. He is, actually. Fifi is in the DRS. Lucky boy. When I checked the gap, it was at 1 second. And Fifi hangs on for now. As further back behind, they're already fighting again. We'll take a quick glance at that. And they're off track back there. And it's a safety car. Potential damage for the drivers back here. And it's a safety car. Brazilian and Imply potentially having big contact. And that's allowed Fifi up to P9. Imply completely missing his front wing. And there was some sort of event that happened in Sector 2 that involved the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo having big contact. And that's brought on our first safety car of the day. You see Brazilian being courteous there and letting the Alfa Romeo driver go. There we go. We see a lot of drivers ducking into the pits. Double stacking at AlphaTauri. The Noble basically pushing Joseph through the corners. And this may actually slow him down. I don't think he's far enough for his teammate. This may demote Joseph massively here. And you can see just how bad he's being held up. Not into the pit box. He's going to get jumped by Zanoble. He's been jumped completely. Does he get jumped by the Haas driver behind? He doesn't, but he's been demoted down to P3. Has Joseph, and he'll have some work cut out for him. But Zanoble in an AlphaTauri sandwich, his life won't be easy either. And he's gone to the soft tires, maybe hoping for that rain to come later on. He's playing it aggressive, thinking it's his only chance to get the win here today. Keep that title fight alive. Everyone will close back up now. Tried to put it down, and I think he's gone. We see him shifting, and there we go. He's gone. And the race is back underway. But look at the start from Zanoble. He's going to catch him lacking potentially. And looking on the inside, Joseph already on Zanoble. Bit of contact there. Has to back out of it though. Joseph has to keep it closer to the inside.
Someone's off.
Not cause contact with his teammate around the outside, looking for Zanoble into turn 3. A bit of contact between these two here. And contact between these two still going up the hill out of Tarzan between the Aston Martin out of the AlphaTauri. And so Noble down to P3 and Joseph back up to P2. And everything sort of sorts itself out again. We see a Williams Damso spun into Sector 2. It's gotten going again, however, and it's right back to an AlphaTauri 1-2. Even on the softer tire compounds, Noble still can't do anything about that AlphaTauri. Give each other a bit of room, as it looks like they'll be going side by side into turn 1. You can see Joseph reclaiming the lead from his teammate as a yellow in Sector 3 for a Mercedes. It looks like Fifi potentially, and it is. Fifi is spun round, and he's backing up and going to beat himself into the gravel at this rate if he keeps going. And you can see him trying to get going now, and there he goes. He's fallen way out of the points, so it might be a bit of a disappointing end to someone who very desperately needs something happy. But nonetheless, the race still carries on. He has a chance to make it up for himself. Laps before they start to feel quite unusable, as the McLaren has gone off massively again. Brazilian struggling with that corner, is sat in the gravel, going to try and get going again. Dradu just continues to be disconnected as the McLaren gets going. Hayes going to be put under thrust from Jordan here, goes defensive. Jordan looking to the outside. Do we have on the brakes? No, we're going to try and get a switchback going, but Hayes has that covered, and good defending there from the Red Bull driver, who hangs on to P4 for the time being. Look at this massive frame for P6 here. Brady gets kicked out again. And you can see, just look at the outside for G-Child there. We'll see this battle going. Do they go 3 wide? Do they dare? No, Jordan not into that battle. But Jordan's getting held up massively. And you can see Hayes gets out very clear. And they're going 3 wide into Tarzan here. Jordan backing out of that, but he gets by the Ferrari skyward. Lucky him. Only one more car left to pick off. Does he go for it into Sector 2? He has a massive tire advantage on G-Child. 17 lap old mean versus 1 lap old soft. Does he go for an ambitious move into one of the fastest corners on the track? Thought about it for a second there, but not going to do anything risky there. DRS zone coming up. He might plan his move there, but he's just losing ever more time to Hayes, and it's not been a good time for Jordan coming out of the pits onto his new set of softs. He's having to use a lot of that pace just to size through the field. He was very lucky that Hayes is a 5-second right now, or he would have his work cut out for him. We can just watch him getting through everybody already onto the rear wing of Windex, giving him a little tap through the banking there and blinking to get by. And that's Jordan up to P5 behind Hayes now, and net P4. I think at this rate, Hayes will drop all the way back down to around P7 or 8 at this rate, actually. You need to pick up the pace there a bit. Down the inside with that DRS. This is an easy pass for him. Does he need to get him on the brakes? No. Easy pass for G-Child there. Windex can't fight it back, but maybe mistake there from G-Child. Does Windex have the exit? No, on those old and aging tires. Here, you do something else with this time to sort of get his Friday. He retires like that.
That just changed everything.
It's at a crash potential from Brazilian. It is. He's crashed into Tarzan with that front wing damage, and that's changed everything. Safety car. And everything's neutralized all of a sudden again. And it is not over till it's over. And everybody will be on the new fresh set of softs. And Hayes, with that 5-second penalty, will actually have to get it served during safety car if he can. It's not a track limit penalty, so it's potential to serve now. This could all be very good for a lot of the drivers here. We'll see if he does. And he does. He gets a 5-second serve, so it's all to play for here. Everyone going to be on a new set of softs. As G-Child gets a 5 sec for speeding. And he can't serve that since he gets it going into the pit lane, so that'll harm his
All I
lane.
gotta do is get ahead of Jordan, who I have better pace than. Sorry.
Everything equalizes again. We'll drop all the way down to around P7, it would seem. P8 as the Mercedes of Fifi is slowly catching the back of that pack as well. But I think it's for the best. Cut their losses and go into the pits, because I don't think these dry tires will make it any sort of grip. And do they duck in the pits? Some cutting their losses.
Joseph, every single one of them except for
everyone but Star Wars. Everybody
Wars.
but Star Wars is is going into the pits and cutting their losses. Look at that podium. Fifi's up to P4. Hayes is in P2. There's going to be 2 laps left in this race, and Joseph's down and almost out of the point, and Stray gets disconnected again. So Noble's now last. Everything has swapped around here, all because of the great equalizer that is the wet weather, and Star Wars will be a sitting duck on those soft tires. We'll see if anyone can get by him. There's a lot to happen here on these 2 laps. Can the drivers keep it clean here? There'll be no more safety cars left to come out. Very ironically, in these wet conditions, when does he decide to go? We'll see. When does he finally get the power down? Does he manage to get it down? He does, but look at the power difference. He has to slowly climb to full throttle. Look at Hayes already. Does he look to the inside? Star Wars will have no grip into this corner. The Ferrari Skyward getting very close, and Hayes is up in the lead. Look at the grip for Star Wars behind, immediately down. Fifi's up into the podium, and this is all changing around. Let's look at behind. This massive contact team. The teammates going side by side already. Big contact between the teammates, and Star Wars is around, and he's in the back now. Joseph's already up to P5. Brilliant start from him. Looking around the outside is Windex, and Joseph's up to P5 already. Around the outside of Imply is looking Windex, and Windex gets by, but big mistake there from Joseph. They're going side by side in the fast right-hander. Windex is off the track, under threat from Imply now. Imply looks down the inside and gets by cleanly. Joseph manages to climb his way back to P5, as behind everything shuffling. You can see who really has the pace here in the wet weather, as they're about to make it 3 wide here in a second, as Noble finds his way back up to P8. Stamso just hanging on to a Stamso, not the Williams of Windex, pardon me, that entire time. Look at how they're shuffling back here, as Stamso goes defensive on Imply. Imply looking for the switchback. They're all gaggling up here, coming to this back straight. G-Child looking for a move on his teammate, but Joseph's on scene as well. G-Child giving him the big squeeze. Just Joseph have him on the brakes, a bit of contact, and Joseph's looking for the lead. And he's gone deep, and he's been tagged by the other Mercedes of G-Child. And Fifi's been demoted down to P5. Joseph's up to P3. He'll be looking for this win. Final lap here. 1 lap left to do. Can he find his way back to this lead, as Hayes is cruising clear? And further behind, Jordan making his way back, and they're fighting it out. The 2 rivals for P2 in the championship are side by side, and Jordan finds his way back again. He's ahead of his rival. Implies holding on to P7 from Stansel in P6. The Mercedes of all of a sudden have a massive upturn in form, as Stansel's gone wide. That's put him out from a lot of drivers, as Drayden finds his way by. It's a Noble, and he spun. Drayden spun behind, and that puts him out of contention for the points. Joseph onto the back of Skyward looking for it, and he's 1 more driver left to pick off, but it's too late. Joseph finds his way back to P2, but I don't think he'll find any more. As further behind, still battling it out for P5. Jordan's on scene. Fifi's holding on to P6, and Fifi's off the track. Can he hold on to it though? Still in the P8, all the way down to P9. But your man of the hour just wraps off the start. P1 at the end. Checo Perez levels of drives here, and Hayes wins it here as Advor off of a chaotic restart. Joseph claims back P2. Skyward made his way to the podium. G-Child hung on to P4. Jordan's in P5 from Zenoble, who's in P6, manages to finish just behind his rival. Double points for the Williams, double points for the Mercedes. A good result there for Fifi today. He'll be looking for that. David's into the points. Implied traded in Star Wars, who was hung out to dry on that safety restart. all the way in P13 by the EA given. And oh my, very patriotic there and deservingly so. That was a representative drive there. All part of strategy. Played it cool. Made his way slowly back to the field and he's reclaimed that win. I think that may be his second of the season.
First of the season, big dog.
First of the season, he corrects me there. Oh, yeah, I forgot Joseph's gone for a clean sweep. I'm tired. A clean sweep so far this season, but Hayes is the one that's throwing a wrench into that party.